My name is Vaden Somers. We're in Woodbine, Calgary, again. Talking about the PDC, I'm lucky enough to have Rob close by most of the time, and now he's really close by teaching his PDCs, the in-person PDCs here on campus. So that's how I first got introduced to the process of taking a PDC and what it looks like. And I think maybe the first one that Rob did was here that I took it. So I was front row center, and it was a real eye opener. Take one to start, but take many is maybe the advice I would give, because the first one is just, as a starting point for me, as I call myself a white belt permaculturalist. It was, mind blowing. It's like a turret. It's like an information turret. So, you got to be on point when you're there, and you have to do a lot of work on the outside yourself just to stay up to speed. So, but definitely eye-opening as a way to blast into the stratosphere is it'll change your life. And I think that's the role it should play. It should be like, whoa, and then you walk out the door and come back the next day. We're at a Hull Services school garden. This is our third year growing, our second year in the outside garden plot. In the background, we have the passive solar greenhouse. That's our third year with our passive solar greenhouse and our second year with this plot. Yeah, we're growing a school garden, basically. We deal with kids with complex needs. So the model here is to get the kids working with their hands, get them involved outside. Our class sizes are small, so we have the ability to take small groups of kids and do projects like this. And this was initiated like I said, 2014, we started the design process. 2016, we built the greenhouse, and here we are 4 years later. Yeah, insights along the way there's tons of them. But the biggest one is that I have absolutely no idea what I was doing. And that's a great place to start any process, I think. Just with humility and a desire to learn. And I think that's critical for my own development personally. And then for the kids, working alongside of them is just letting them know that too along the way, It's like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I'm trying my best to get up to speed. To let them know that at this age, barely standing still, I'm willing to take that step and re-educate myself about something that I'm interested in. And I think people who think about the education system and where we need to be in the future, that's what they're saying, is our kids have to have that cognitive flexibility to change gears, because the world's changing so drastically that what we're teaching kids in the education system right now might not be relevant in 10 years, in 5 years, who knows? So to role model to them that flexibility of like, yeah, I'm in the wood shop, but we're gonna try this gardening thing, and we're gonna fall on our face tons, physically and emotionally, but that's okay because we're learning something new. And these guys, particular kids with complex mental health needs, they fall on their face a lot. And it's hard for them to get back up, and they're doing that day in, day out. And that's where, for me, the inspiration for falling on my face, comes from the kids sometimes, that resiliency. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get back up, and it's okay to keep on trucking and try to improve. Yeah, I think initially, find the support and build from the grassroots. I mean, the garden this year is a true testament to what you can do with many hands as opposed to just your own. And in the past, as we kind of developed the garden space and developed the greenhouse, I was kind of working in a bit of a vacuum by myself, just because everyone else is so applied to their own job at the school, obviously. But this year was a bit of a change because we had the COVID come through, and it allowed us to have a few more hands in the garden, you know, not full time, but people started to take more of an interest. So once they're hooked, you see the people who are hooked hard, you know. They're like pulled all the way to shore by the mouth, you know, they're ready to go. And we had definitely people come out of the woodwork this year that I suspected they would be interested, but given the allotment of time, they showed a passionate interest. And when you have 4 or 5 people working, then, you know, you go away to pick up some gear at Rona and you come back and something's done. Like, that's such a great thing as someone who's used to working by themselves. The great thing about these kids is they will not weed. So you have to come up with innovative and interesting tasks for them to do, because if you tell them to sit down and weed a garden bed, which especially breaking new ground, it's like the name of the game is weed control. But guess what? You're not getting one of these kids to weed control for you. So I'm constantly coming up with stuff like kind of rapid fire. When they get back now, it's going to be taste testing, right? And get that that sense back on board, because I'm sure that, as most people know, kids with complex mental health needs generally come from a certain socioeconomic strata of our community. I mean, that's not across the board, but the majority of them come from there. So, you know, they're impoverished in a lot of different ways, and they're nutritionally impoverished too. So that's one of the biggest things I noticed, was having a variety of vegetables and a variety of things that they can taste. It's like opening a new door for them and encourage them to take those steps nutritionally into something that's a little bit more dense. We're at Hull Services, hullservices.ca. On Instagram, we're at Hull_greenhouse, or at Vaden Somers, my personal Instagram. You can usually get some updates there.